Across Central Oregon, we are about to get into an unsettled weather pattern. That means more precipitation is on the way. Hey everyone, I'm Darrell Winninger from the Central Oregon Daily Weather Center. Now, we are about to do a deep dive into your most reliable forecast. And right off the bat, there are a few things that I'm already tracking. Number one, this in and out cloud cover. Number two, our next cold front is what sparks this next round of an unsettled weather pattern, meaning more rounds of moisture are expected, more rain and snow showers. Winds could get breezy at times. And number three, there is a little bit of concern when it comes to air quality, but at this time it doesn't look too bad across Central Oregon. That could be changing here in the next couple of days as another ridge of high pressure begins to build before this next system rolls through, and that's going to be as soon as tomorrow night. So let's get into it. Starting off with what we're seeing right now, we can see some haze in the cameras. We can see where there has been in and out clouds through Central Oregon, so a mixture of sunshine and clouds, and off in the distance, this is up at Bachelor, the bottom left camera. If you look out past the Outback lift line, off in the distance, you can see a little bit of virgo. That is precipitation that's falling and either evaporating or sublimating as it before it reaches the surface. And so that is something we've been dealing with, a few sprinkles through the high desert. So when we go ahead and look at what's been happening, we mostly have dry roads across Central Oregon, and as the sun is getting ready to set, we could be looking at more sprinkles, making some damp roads. That could be a concern when temperatures start to fall below freezing, and we could see some slick roads out there. Meanwhile, even looking through the passes, roads look pretty good. Now, in the last 24 hours or so, actually really in the last week and a half, we haven't had any new precipitation at elevation, meaning that we're even losing a little bit of snow. So we're at 28 inches up at Bachelor, 18 inches at Hoodoo. That's not too far from where we were on Friday, but no new precipitation is expected at elevation tonight. By tomorrow, it could start to roll in, but even at that, we're not looking at much. We'll have a look at some forecast models and everything else here in the next few minutes, but let's get to the other concern, the other thing that we were actually tracking across Central Oregon, and that is the air quality alert that's in place for Deschutes County. Now, don't let this fool you. All three counties of Central Oregon are expecting these periods of reduced to even poor air quality through the next couple of days, but specifically the DEQ is where these come from. So the Oregon Department of Environmental Quality, and they are specifically looking at Deschutes County for periods of poor air quality due to some subsidence that it's going to lead to just the potential for worsening air quality conditions. Now, currently across the high desert, we're good to moderate. The base map is from the DEQ, courtesy airnow.gov, and it shows good to moderate air quality. That is your hourly average. Each one of those yellow and green dots, that is a real-time sensor coming from eSpace, which is a local lab here in Bend, Oregon, and they just have sensors all across, not just Central Oregon, but the entire state. When we zoom out, we can see there's one, looks like in Ashland, a couple of them up in the northeastern corner of the state, but for Central Oregon is where the concentration mainly is, and they're just showing good. Couple of them moderate. Now, satellite and radar does show a lot of cloud cover from satellite. This is, when it comes to satellite, you're looking at a blend of infrared and visible, and radar is, well, radar. It's coming from all the different sites. There's one near Pendleton, one to the northeast of Portland, and one just north and northwest of Portland, and another one right around Medford. And they're showing a few sprinkles across the high desert. Nothing to get excited about, though. Now, let me go ahead and back up before we get there. So when we typically see precipitation, it helps to clear the air, but it's such light sprinkles that we're really not seeing too much at all in there. And it looks like we're missing a little bit of data coming from the purple air sensors. So let's go ahead and move forward. And when it comes to what's been happening, when it comes to the satellite imagery, we got a couple things we're tracking. First, today, a weak piece of energy has moved through the Pacific Northwest. If you go ahead and have to draw a line through it, from Calgary all the way south to the Utah and Nevada state line. That's where the axis of that trough is. Meanwhile, further offshore, there's another cold front, a much bigger system that's going to be rolling inland tomorrow. That's the one that brings our next chance of precipitation. So right now we're in that in-between zone where we're looking at these in and out clouds. Also focus on the pressure lines, these isobars that are way offshore, and notice how they get much closer together the further out you get. That's because of stronger winds, and we call that a steep gradient when they get really packed up next to each other, but we could be looking at winds getting a little breezy at times through the next couple of days. It's the only reason I mentioned that. And a look at the entire system shows that this is over the North Pacific Ocean and Gulf of Alaska, with that cold front stretched south right offshore. There's a ridge of high pressure north of Hawaii, and there's another system, the subtropical jet, that's coming into Baja. That's not really going to impact us at all. So when it comes to water vapor imagery, also a satellite product, similar to infrared, but it just points out where there's water vapor in the mid, upper, and lower levels of the atmosphere. This is the lowest level, and it's showing mostly dry air over central Oregon, but there have been a few clouds that have been bringing enough to maybe get a few sprinkles to the ground. Now, the bigger system that's way out over the Pacific Ocean, that's where some strength is, and that's what's rolling in tomorrow. And you can more clearly see the axis of the system that rolled through earlier today that's working its way east, closer to the Rockies. Now, your forecast model shows that here through the overnight hours, some in and out clouds are expected. Good news is no fog. That's a relief after last week. And now, your forecast model shows that by tomorrow, 7 a.m., increasing clouds begin. And it's really going to be in and out clouds through the day. And then by the time we get to Tuesday at 5 p.m., more clouds are expected. Notice that shower activity closer to the coastline from the I-5 corridor to the coast. That rolls in, brings us rain and snow showers. And then we get another break between systems through Wednesday, with another system rolling in Wednesday night going into Thursday. So when it comes to relative humidity, we are very dry, and that's because of that dry air mass overhead. Fog, not really a threat tonight. Or a risk, I should say, tonight. High temperatures today range from 37 degrees in Warm Springs to 54 in Bend. And so for many of us, it was mild, but for some of us, it was pretty chilly, especially in the northern parts of central Oregon in Jefferson County. Currently, temperatures are still ranging from the mid-30s all the way to 50 degrees in Redmond. Now, the temperature change is 2 degrees cooler to 14 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago. And here through tonight, we are expecting those temperatures to fall back into the 20s, with a few teens possible, and by tomorrow, we are back into the 40s. So ultimately, we are going to be close to average for this time of the year. And the forecast model that I typically use for temperatures, surface temperature, shows that we're going to be close to normal for this time of the year through the week. And each one of these cold fronts that starts to push through is going to be another wave of moisture. Here's the next one that's rolling in tomorrow, and it's actually going to bring some wintry mix overnight. Then another system rolls in Wednesday night going into Thursday. That also brings some wintry mix. And then by Thursday, we're looking at a mixture of sunshine and clouds, getting in the warm sector of this next system. All the while, we're looking at 40s with some 50s. Thursday, we get an uptick in temperatures, but they don't go too far. Meanwhile, what we're seeing is some rain and snow showers expected through the next couple of days, but just not much in the way of snow totals in our highest elevation. Now, your forecast model, the one we typically use on air, shows that we're going to see this pattern continue through the next several days. The first round of moisture is Tuesday night going into Wednesday, rain and snow showers. The second round of moisture is Wednesday night going into Thursday, and then Thursday during the afternoon, a warm front pushes through with another system rolling in. Friday evening going into Friday night. We are going to skip over the GFS because it pretty much just shows the same thing across central Oregon, but ultimately we're expecting just some light totals in the highest elevations, a trace to maybe 3 inches for our passes, and in our lower elevations mostly rain over anything else, and it's like that with the long range model as well. Now, your wind gusts right now, not too impressive. Gusts alone are only getting to 13 miles per hour. Wind speeds are at a light breeze. In the next couple of days, we're mostly going to be a light breeze. Now, yes, it could get breezy at times, but not enough for me to put breezy over the entire day until we get to Wednesday and Thursday. So for tonight, let me back up. For tonight, we're looking at 20s with a few teens, maybe a couple of 30s. By Tuesday, 40s and a few 50s are going to be possible. And then your 7-day planner shows that temperatures gradually warm up, especially Friday and Saturday, putting our highs 10 plus degrees above average for this time of the year. Then a stronger system rolls in on Sunday, and it's going to be Sunday and Monday that we get more precipitation and a bigger dip in temperature. So a recap for you. Your weather headlines for this Monday, January the 26th, include cold starts and cool days, some midweek rain and snow showers, and it's going to be seasonal with winds becoming a little breezy at times. That's the latest in weather. Join us tonight on Central Oregon Daily News.